After almost 4 full weeks, it's time to take this off and switch it up. While I do that, I want to share some of my thoughts on how it's held up over the past 4 weeks, some of the pros and cons of what I've liked about it compared to other styles, and we're also going to see together for the first time how it removes compared to the other styles as well. So let's go ahead and get started. These look pretty great for having been on for almost 4 full weeks. I applied them on June 3rd. The first thing to happen was on June 10th, this one chipped. And then I want to say a day or two after that happened, this one chipped off as well. And this one is one that I had intentionally left a little bit longer than my natural nail just to see how it would hold up. And then this morning, June 28th, this also happened. It chipped, and then there's a little divot in here as well. Now for the removal, they recommend some sort of cuticle oil. I'm going to be using Mary Kay's Naturally Nourishing Oil. It has almond oil in it and just smells absolutely amazing. While I remove these, I'm going to share my in-depth thoughts. All in all, I would say that I was very impressed with these nail strips, but to make matters easier, I decided to line them up side by side to see how they compare. So I'll be comparing the Glaze, what I'm removing right now, versus their gloss, which I've done other videos on in the past. I'm going to start off with the thickness. Glaze is a much thicker strip. It mimics more of your typical salon manicure. This hides the ridges of my natural nail. This helped so that my nails could actually grow out quite a bit longer and really protected them. On the other hand, the gloss strips are thinner, which makes them feel more like your own natural nail. Because of this, it shows off the natural ridges of my nail and even started to peel up at the edges as time went on. One of the biggest things that I noticed and that I've seen many other YouTubers comment on is hair getting stuck underneath the cuticle of the nail. This really bugged me. Within a few days of finishing my mani, my hair was already getting stuck underneath the cuticle. On the other hand, with the gloss strips, I never once experienced my hair getting stuck under that cuticle. And so I would say that that was the biggest pro for using gloss over glaze. Next up is the price difference. The glaze strips are anywhere from $10 to $16 depending on how fancy of a design you want, if you want something really basic. The kit that I'm removing right now was actually a kit that came with a mani and a pedi, and it was $17. The gloss strips, on the other hand, are $8. Sometimes you can even get them on sale for as low as $6. As far as application time, I would say that they were quite comparable. The glaze strips do require the LED light to cure them, but applying the actual strip to my nail went really fast and easy. The gloss strips, on the other hand, because they're thinner, they're a little bit more putsy, they wrinkle, and they do tend to crease, so it just takes more time to apply the strips. Another huge difference that I noticed between these two is the number of options that Dashing Diva offers. On their website, they have 111 glaze strips. 16 of those are pedicure strips. That means they have 95 different manicure options. Once you remove the pedicure options, they only have 33 different options for the gloss strips. That's a pretty significant difference. Another difference between the two is equipment required. The glaze strips require being cured by a UV light. The gloss strips, on the other hand, do not require any additional equipment outside of what comes in the box. When I compare how long the strips lasted once they were applied, I would say that they were pretty similar, but the glaze strips definitely looked professional for much longer. The gloss strips may last a long time as they grow out, but they start to lose some of the professionalism at the tips. I would combat that by just trimming off the tips as my nails grew. Lastly, as you can see from this very riveting removal video, it is a little bit trickier to remove these since they do not bend at all. It's much more time consuming, and I was very worried about how they were going to damage my nails, but after slowly prying them off and being very delicate, I did not notice any nail damage at all. The gloss strips do remove very easily. They almost pull off kind of like a command strip. You just stretch and pull off. Very fast and easy. So here are my final thoughts. Getting my hair caught under the cuticle for 3 weeks became very annoying. I've read up on a few suggestions and I'll be testing them before I share. If they are effective, I really don't think I would have any other complaints. I really loved wearing these the entire time they were on. I couldn't believe how well the color held up and didn't fade in the slightest. They felt strong and looked very professional. If I could put in a request to Dashing Diva, it would be that they have even more variety and color options. I like more bold and fun styles, and most of their options are pretty plain and simple. Outside of using up what I've already purchased, I don't think that I'll be going for the gloss strips again simply because I loved the glaze more. I'm a huge fan of the Dashing Diva kit. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. I would 100% recommend it. The next one I'm going to be testing out is Ahura, and I'm really curious to see how it's going to compare. So stay tuned for that review between the two of these, and we'll see how they do. I just finished filming the removal video, and I just cannot believe how well that went. I also went ahead and put on a new set, testing out a new brand, and I'm sorry, but is this not like the cutest mani you've ever seen? It's just so fun and perfect for summer. I do have to say that after testing out the two different styles of Dashing Diva manicure strips, I am 100% such a huge fan of the new Glaze strips. And frankly, pushing it almost 4 weeks was above and beyond the expected 14 days that they advertised. I do think that with just a couple tweaks that I did when applying this mani, it's going to make such a huge difference in that issue with the hair getting stuck underneath the cuticle, but I really want to test it out before I share that. So that's going to have to come in another video. So if you love these mani videos and just testing out different brands and seeing what's out there, please subscribe. I have some really fun things in the works coming up soon. Thank you so much for joining, and don't forget, if you want to try out Dashing Diva's products, make sure you use the link down below and enter your email to get 20% off your first order. Have a great rest of your day, and Winnie and I will see you next time.